blue-eyed leucistics, white snakes.
Proper royals.
Hi everybody, it's Adam at Proper Royals. Good to see you today. Thanks for being here. Wanted to share with you one of my projects, kind of the backstory behind it, why I'm doing what I'm doing on this particular one, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Today's about blue-eyed leucistics. So very quick backstory. The whole theme of this channel has always been kind of going from pet owner to family hobbyist to looking at some family business opportunities. I don't think it'll be the family business, but if you're watching these kind of videos, you know that there's some money in this game, and you also know how fun it is. So if I can combine those two, I'm doing pretty well in life. So the backstory is I started buying snakes. I kind of found myself in this hobbyist mode, and I'm accumulating more and more snakes. And I said, man, cash flow is going to be a problem because I'm buying juveniles and hatchlings. And as you know, that's 2-3 years out before you're even making any money or covering costs or anything like that. So I started to buy some subadults and that sort of thing. But I also, as I was creating my future project plans, found myself dreaming of these big, recessive, double recessive, exploring some new genes kind of thing. And I was like, man, at some point I gotta sell something and cover some costs, or else I'm just going to go broke on this hobby, and I don't have that kind of money to do that. So one of the angles that I decided to do or to take was to start researching what items sell at a good solid middle of the road price and hold that value, and sort of dependably do so. Now, the research was limited mostly to morph markets, some reptile shows, and then asking other breeders their input and that kind of thing. And what everybody says garners all kinds of attention year in and year out. Not necessarily for breeders, because it's limiting for us and what our future projects can be. But what everybody says sells on the pet market are blue-eyed leucistics. The white snake, all white snake. So if you're not familiar with blue-eyed leucistics, in the blue-eyed leucistic complex, there's a variety of genes. If you combine, and they are incomplete dominant, so if you combine one of any of those genes in that complex with any one of the other, it creates an all-white snake with nice blue eyes. Her eyes are pretty blue, but she's also in the middle of shed right now, so I'll show you on the other guy. So this is Sharona. She's at 1,000 grams, and she is a super lesser. So genes like lesser, Mojave, bamboo, what else? Phantom is in there. There's about 8 genes in the blue-eyed leucistic complex. If you combine any one of those with any one of the others, you're going to make an all-white snake, okay? So, like I say, this is Sharona. She's a super lesser, and I don't know how well to show. Like I say, she's in shed. She's got just a little bit of breakthrough pattern on her tail here where it's yellow. And one of her parents was a pastel, so I think that she is a super lesser pastel. Secondly, let me share with you this guy. See if I can keep both of them occupied together. These two are pretty chill snakes. Sharona's one of the calmest in our family. Come on up, girl. And this young male, his name is Lefty. And Lefty is also an all-white snake, although you can see he's got some pink and lavenders coming through with him. And I don't know how well his eyes show up. I'll include a snapshot of his eyes on the video. So he's a super Mojave. So super Mojave, super lesser. Here's exactly why I bought both of these. First, they're super cool. They're beautiful snakes. They'll be powerful breeders on their own. If I ever need lesser, I'm guaranteed to get lesser from all of her offspring because she's a super. If I ever need Mojave, same thing with this guy. He's guaranteed to be Mojave, and all of his offspring will be Mojave because he's a super. So here's the neat part. if all of his offspring are Mojave, guaranteed, and all of her offspring are lesser, guaranteed, that means that when bred together, their clutches will be 100% lesser Mojaves. Lesser Mojaves are always white snakes. That will guarantee that everything from this girl's clutches, from this pairing, will always be lesser Mojave blue-eyed leucistics. So it's limiting because no matter what other genes are in there, the snakes will always be white. On the other hand, I found that I believe there will always be a market for white snakes. They're very cool. They're not inexpensive. They're not overly expensive, but I can always pay some bills with the blue-eyed leucistics. And that's the plan with these. Now, once the various projects get rolling and I'm not so worried about covering expenses, or I've made a little bit, or I've advanced, or whatever it might be that the future holds, hopefully, then I can do some pretty cool things. So the father, sorry, let me set these down and try and keep them contained. Yeah, she just wants to explore. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put her away, and we're going to talk about him for a minute, because he's actually an interesting little powerhouse. So Super Mojave. Here's what else he is and what you can't see because he's all white. His pairing came from a ghost Mojave to a pastave, so pastel Mojave, het ghost. So that means this guy is not only super Mojave, he's at least 100% het ghost and 50% chance that he's a visual ghost. And he also could have pastel. So the initial plans for him is to create some blue-eyed leucistics and get a little bit of cash flowing in and out. See if you can see his eyes. His eyes are unbelievable. Get a little bit of cash flow going. But after that, or at the same time, because I could breed him to multiple females at once he gets of age and maturity, he'll play into my ghost project. I've got a visual female ghost that'll be growing up. Mojaves are beautiful with ghost. So we could do some ghost Mojave ghosts when I pair them with the normal ghost female. And we potentially could get pestaves as well. So I'm excited to see what the future brings for this little guy. I think he will prove to be a great investment over time. So those are the projects that I have working with my blue-eyed leucistic complex. Hope that helps for you. If you have any suggestions for the future for me on pairings, of course, leave notes in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, thanks for joining me today. Cheers to you wherever you are. See you next time.